Xstreamed YouTube channel as well as the Slam Jam Wrestling Show YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that subscribe button wherever you're watching. And so far, it is me, it is Gav. How are you doing, Gav?
I'm good there, thanks.
Good.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. So like Slam Jam had like a little bit of a break, and then we came back last week. You know, you weren't there for that one. There was a bunch of others. Now they're not here. You're here. So one thing we haven't.
They run away from me.
Yeah, they're scared of you, Gav.
That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But what I was going to say is we discussed. It's like the wrestling world is so busy and so fast. Well, I was going to say we can touch base on, because you didn't get to give any thoughts on All In. We're about to have All Out. In between, we've had WWE's Bash in Berlin. So there's a lot, I'm sure, that we've got to catch up on here.
Definitely.
But what did you think of All In?
To begin with, I think of it.
Yeah.
Well, I completely missed all of it.
Oh, you missed it?
Yeah. So I was awake when that was going on.
Of course.
Yeah. I saw little clips here and there of what was going on.
Okay, so some of the headlines. Give me your reaction. Bryan Danielson winning the... Oops, broke something there. Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
I think it was a good call.
I think it was a good call, right? I really thought Swerve was going to win, though.
I didn't.
Well, I didn't until like the match started, but they like literally advertised it as the final countdown. So it was genuinely a swerve on what the advertising was going with.
That's right. And I think I even posted it on the group. I said, Daniel, he's working all of us.
Yeah. Well,
I think I posted that.
And again, like, I swear, like, this is like one of these weird Mandela effect things. Like, because Nigel McGuinness returned. But I swear a year ago, like, Nigel McGuinness first was around AEW at All In. They had him do the announcement of the attendance, made a big deal. And for the whole year, he's been ragging on Daniel Bryan. And he's like, well, he's going to return and have this match. And then clearly, to me, that was 100% the plan. Because, one, he had been coming out of retirement. And, he, and then Daniel Bryan, obviously they put him in the main event. But because McGuinness did come back, I think that was always the plan, but they changed it somewhere.
Yeah. And the other thing is as well, look how he's gotten really swole, isn't he, Nigel McGuinness?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's in like probably the best shape of his career, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. Do you remember his days as Desmond Wolfe in TNA?
True. Yeah.
Like, he looks a bit older, but he doesn't look in bad shape, right?
Yeah,
no, he does look in good shape for it. Yeah. But when he was Desmond Wolfe, like, I thought he was going to be one of the next big things. But that was around when like he had like whatever problems he had to retire, Yeah. But so like I was there at All In, and one of the big things. Do you know what I was like? I would have said this on like the group chat, but I was in the very worst seat in the entire house.
Yeah.
And there was like one row behind me, but otherwise I was at the very back of the entire stadium. Right. And the screen above the ring wasn't on, and the positioning of like the ring meant that you couldn't even see the entrances. It was terrible. But because the screen wasn't on, there was this awesome family, and when I say it, I don't know them at all. But the dad was so irate that the screen wasn't on. He just went and was complaining really loudly. And then he's like, right, we're moving. And I'm like, I'm joining your family. And I just moved with him. And so I got a really good seat in the end. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so that was cool. But, like a bunch of stuff happened, which I'm sure is going to have impact on what's happening at All Out and or further along. But like the biggest one outside of Bryan winning the world title was Christian Cage has got a #1 contender shot whenever he wants. And so
I know that kind of sparked a lot of controversy, didn't it?
Well, absolutely, because like I think Christian has been one of the best things in AEW since he turned heel.
Definitely, yeah.
But he's never been given the world title.
No.
So I think he is owed a run. I think he has earned it.
Yeah, I think so as well. I like Christian as well.
Yeah.
And again, what you said, just echoing what you said, his run in AEW since turning heel, especially,
Well,
Brilliant.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he's like, when you think back to the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, right? There were the clear ones that at least WWE, but arguably the fans as well, thought, well, this guy's the Shawn Michaels, this guy's the Jannetty.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Edge and Christian, well, actually, the Dudley Boys was a different dynamic, so maybe not with them. They definitely tried to push Bubba Ray when
Bubba
they
got further.
yeah, he got further when they absolutely well they did the whole Reverend Deacon Batista deal, which was awful. But in TNA, Devon had a good run, and and Bully Ray obviously then became a world champion.
That's right.
So I'd say there isn't really a Jannetty there, but of Edge and Christian they saw as the Jannetty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Matt Hardy they saw as the Jannetty, right?
Yes.
And I would say, as it stands right now with Edge and Christian in 2024, Edge is now the Jannetty.
It's changed.
And it was like a few years ago with Broken Matt Hardy. He was always the Jannetty, and it was suddenly he became the more interesting personality.
And if you're listening, Marty Jannetty, we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Jannetty. Sorry. Like, if you are listening, Jannetty, come on the show, because that'd be awesome. Yeah. Just like, you know. God, I can't imagine interviewing Marty Jannetty, though.
Yeah, that'd be different.
Yeah, it would be. Right. Okay, but so anyway, let's come to what do you want to tackle first? We can talk more All In. Do you want to talk All Out? Have you at least heard what happened on Dynamite this week? If you haven't seen it yet.
No.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't heard anything.
Oh shit.
What I did see, just a little. I think someone posted in the group chat.
Yeah.
With what's her name? Mia May.
Oh, it could be. That's not where I'm going with
this
right,
at all. Okay. No, I don't know anything then.
Okay. Wow. Do you mind a spoiler at all, or?
Go for it.
Okay. So, did you see like the good news, like the feel-good story from earlier, like a couple of days ago, that because of like his brand new big fat contract, Swerve Strickland has bought back his childhood home.
Yes, I saw that.
Well.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see something with that.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I give big clap to AEW for this, because clearly this has been part of a storyline. Because on Dynamite, Hangman Adam Page burned it down, and it's like and he's
not in jail.
He's not in jail. It's like, this is a thing that, like, you can't really take something like that back. You know, how can he ever be a face again?
Well, there you go. As Hogan would say, the wrestling fans are forgiving.
Oh my God, that's another thing this week. Like, you know, as people have been saying in our chat, like, Hogan just shouldn't speak. Like,
exactly.
So what did we have? They're forgiving of Chris Benoit, he's been saying.
That's right,
He was saying that that Bret Hart hates everyone. Like, and I think he was on Logan Paul's podcast or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And but like, there was one funny clip from that where it's ironic, because I think Hulk Hogan doesn't actually really know that much about the wrestling industry. That's my theory.
Oh no.
It's like, he knows what he was doing, but I think I think either one of us could beat him in a quiz on
definitely
what happened in wrestling. Yeah.
I was going to say, unless it's to do with Hulk Hogan, but even then, you probably still get it more right than him.
Yeah, exactly. He'd make it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't remember. Oh yeah, so Logan Paul. Hogan said, if it was a work or a shoot, and apparently Logan didn't know what those terms mean, and he's been in wrestling for like 2 years. And Hogan gave like a funny look to the cameras, like, is he serious? But then Hogan does what Hogan does best, and it's come out with lies and compared himself to try to make any of his unfortunate past seem okay. He was like, they forgave Chris Benoit. It's like, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No one forgave Chris Benoit.
I'm sure he's not talking to Chris Benoit, well, not even Chris Benoit, but Nancy's family or anything like that.
Well, so, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think anyone's forgiving anyone.
No,
really.
I think the only thing that's actually moved in that direction is that there was like the dark side of the ring about Benoit, but they had his son on it, where he was saying, "Oh, my dad's still my hero," and like
Yeah.
and people accept that. But
You can understand that, yeah.
yeah, but no one. Yeah, WWE haven't inducted Benoit already. Not that he claims that, but there's been no sign of this. But
and like I always hear like people saying that knew Chris that he wouldn't want to be inducted anyway.
Yeah.
So for what he done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that whole thing, like, we don't need to get too deep into it, but like, a thing which is fairly, I think, universally said is that whatever happened to him, like how like Chris Nowinski turned out to be like a genius scientist, and like they tested his brain and that it was like really damaged. Hang on 1 second. Oh man. No, so okay, there's just like a glitch with the Facebook stream. We're still on YouTube, we're still on Twitch, it's fine. But yeah, so with what they discovered, they were like, Chris Benoit wasn't himself.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't excuse what happened, but at least it puts some context to it. But anyway,
I don't really want to get into it, but having kids myself, and I think I posted this in the group.
Yeah,
I just couldn't imagine like anything to my kid. Like,
you're
kind of, as soon as you hold your kid for the first time, you made a pledge to protect them. So I still don't understand that.
No. But anyway, so Hogan manages to think he's 1 inch above the bottom of the barrel. So if that's the thing which he's trying to elevate himself, good luck to him. But let's come to the bash in Berlin. Yep. So did you see this show?
Yes, I did.
I saw like 2/3 of it in the end. Like I missed the opening match. You know, I was like otherwise engaged, but to me, like I didn't mind missing the first match. I'm sure Cody and Owens had a great match, but to me, this was an event of. I think we all predicted pretty much all of the results correctly.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting with them doing the pay-per-views in like Europe, how like there's hardly any matches on it, which is a thing. So they're like paying for flights. Complete opposite to AEW, who brought their entire roster over here.
Yeah.
But 5 matches, all of them were predictable. But what were your thoughts on Cody and Kevin Owens? Because I didn't see this one.
Going back to that, I think what Triple H is doing is following the UFC kind of rule.
Okay.
So UFC have got like a 5-match policy on their main card.
Really?
So so the main card like will have 3 under.
Yeah.
And then you have a co-main event and then the main event. So
that's fascinating. I wonder what the logic of that is.
I don't know. I think they're like the wrestlers themselves now.
Yeah.
Are able to tell better stories. That's definitely the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm for it. And then I think the bigger like pay-per-views, the big 4, will get longer time and more matches. So
yeah, I mean, like obviously, like they split WrestleMania into 2, and they're going to do that with SummerSlam. You know.
Yeah.
The weird thing with that is the one which it makes more sense to split into 2 is the Royal Rumble, because they have 2 Royal Rumble matches.
True, yeah.
But they might think that's too close to WrestleMania to.
True, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's interesting if UFC do it, and it's interesting to see. Like again, we're about a year since the TKO sale, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
And WWE, from what it was to what it is quite different. Like the camera work is different. You know,
I love that camera work now.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. Yeah. I love just following them through. Like in their entrances.
Like that, and they're making it into like a real event. So even coming in from even before the locker room, from outside, following them into the building now.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but so we had Women's Tag Team Championships. The Unholy Union lost the tag titles back to Bianca and Jade. Again, like, was it the UK event where Jade and Bianca lost it?
That's right, yeah.
And so, they were just kind of returning it back to... I don't think they ever really wanted them to lose it.
No, I don't think so. But again, I think... Was you at that event? Was
what,
it
in
Glasgow?
person? No, I wasn't at it. Yeah, that was Clash at the Castle.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one, I think they put... Well, majority of Scottish people were actually on that card.
Yes,
and I think because no Scottish person was going to win, like you had Viper, or what's her name?
Piper Niven.
And then you've got Drew.
Yeah.
So they were winning.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, let's put someone that's going to win.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's kind of what my theory was.
No,
really.
That's hitting the nail on the head. That makes complete sense. Yeah. So, but good for them for that they especially got a home turf win. But now they're back to business with Bianca and Bianca. I keep saying it the English way. Bianca and Jade. And the interesting thing is, from when Jade was going to debut, is like, well, they need to have her feud with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
And obviously they felt, because like they kind of said, it's not her fault. She was in AEW. She isn't quite ready. And so they put her in the tag team. But because I think if they'd just been the tag team champions this whole time, they'd have probably started to have tension between them by now.
Yeah.
Whereas I think this is now probably going to lead all the way up to WrestleMania.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not even too sure. Like, Jade looks pretty good in this bout. She's actually improved quite a lot.
Oh, her wrestling, you meant? Oh, right, sure, go.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Or we go into anything else, but her wrestling's definitely come along. I think maybe she probably still needs a bit more, but still green. But that'll come.
Like, we literally saw, when she was in AEW, we were literally seeing her debut match ever.
That's right,
so,
it was just...
Yeah, this is no time at all.
And she didn't get much time either. There's always squash matches as well, so...
Yeah.
She'll grow anyway. And I'm not even too sure if I want it for this WrestleMania or probably next.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, let it cook, you know?
Okay, well, how about this? How about at WrestleMania, they lose the tag team titles, or something happens which then puts them on a year-long path to next WrestleMania?
Right. Yeah, I could go with that, definitely.
Yeah. I mean... No, go ahead, Gav.
I was going to say, you just want, like... Especially with Bianca, you want a really good match coming out of that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want it to be... I won't say
I tell you what, Gav.
Like,
if they were to start the feud at WrestleMania and take it to the next WrestleMania, and I don't know how they could avoid them having any, like, physicality or something, but if they just, like, if they lost and then they're upset at each other, they try to keep the tag team together.
Or even a brand split then.
Yeah,
and then,
something.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, with a long build, that is... Because like, we've had a couple of women's match main event Mania. They could build to that being the next women's match main eventing Mania.
That's right, yeah. Definitely.
Because I don't know, obviously, what they're going to do, 6-7 months' time or whatever. But obviously The Rock is going to re-emerge. He's going to be Cody, Roman, Rock. That's all going to be over the main event of Mania.
Yeah.
So, maybe just start planting the seeds and give that a year-long... Oh, and probably Punk is still wanting that main event for this year.
It's going to be Punk and Seth again. It'll be like them actually having that match then.
Yeah.
It'll be a big thing. So that's why Bronson Reed has been put in the mix, just to simmer that until it gets to that point.
Well, yeah, like, so I don't even know what the deal with Seth is. Is he actually injured and they just wrote him out?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But he might be still injured. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think, obviously because obviously this goes back a few weeks to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It was a 3-way feud with Seth, Drew, and Punk.
Yeah.
And obviously Seth was a real focus there. The Bronson Reed thing just kind of gives Seth a distraction. So then when they come back to Punk, they can say, oh, well... from when you debuted, and then SummerSlam, and then heat it up for WrestleMania again. Yeah. And
just to think, right, this is going to sound really bad. We're only 4 months away from the Royal Rumble.
That's insane. Actually, what month is it? September, October, November, December. Oh my God, this year has gone so fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
So you start building WrestleMania from there, 4 months.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, certainly. Let's come back to this. Punk and Drew. So Punk had to win this one, realistically.
Yeah.
He got the bracelet back. Have you seen Raw from this week?
Yes. Right. Finally caught up.
Okay, so Drew re-emerged there, And again, this is a sign of how WWE is so different. In that Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have been feuding since January.
Yeah.
And now obviously Punk was injured for a long time, and they've now had 2 matches, and so they're going to keep it going.
For a bracelet.
I know. I mean,
how have they put a bracelet over their titles? Like,
yeah. The weird thing with that is, I think that it's because they're so good. Like, you know, if you take CM Punk and Drew McIntyre out of it, and it's a feud over like a bracelet, that's almost Judy Bagwell level of stipulation. Exactly. You know, you need good people. Like, who was it? Who was it that had the feud over a shampoo commercial? Who was that? Booker T and who?
Not Goldust, was it? Or no?
I can't remember. Who was it?
Oh,
it was someone good though. But my point is, you can make something ridiculous work. Who the hell was it? Feuded over shampoo feud. Shampoo feud WWE. Oh, Jesus. Booker T and Edge. Oh yeah.
Edge, that's it. Yeah.
War over shampoo. Yeah. Crazy. Oh my god! It's like obviously they've put out this trailer for the Vince McMahon documentary, and I did manage to catch that just before we went live.
Yeah.
But it's so different WWE now that then hopefully there won't be. Yeah.
It's improved so much to me.
Yeah.
It has improved. Yeah, definitely. It's kind of must watch, and like the thing is, you can't keep your eye off of it.
Yeah.
Because you miss certain things as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Certain things as well. So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so Drew broke the bracelet, but give me your opinion, because I tried to look this up to see if it was actually there, and I couldn't find it, but the reports were, and I didn't see it contradicted, that Punk then shared on Instagram this was a duplicate bracelet.
Yeah.
I mean, why would Punk do that?
That's why I was just like, CM Punk doing this. I mean, even Dave Green even mentioned it.
Yeah.
Of all people, CM Punk doing this.
Yeah,
it's just like wow.
I mean, after like some of his complaints about stuff in AEW, that was a little bit hypocritical, because it was like you're killing your own feud here.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and like it's just like, wow, why would you do that? But again, I guess it's because I don't know if the fan got offended.
I don't know. Well, just send a DM. Like, if it's the fan that made it, just be like, don't worry, that was a decoy.
It's safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think they'll take because before Drew came and beat up Punk, Punk was calling out Gunther. So that's obviously on their mind that they're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Gunther will probably lose it to Punk, which is a real shame.
I'm not sure if I like that.
No, I don't. I don't like it, to be honest. Gunther doesn't deserve to lose it. Is the problem? No. He's too good.
He's just way too good. Yeah. And I think it's Gunther's time. You know, and again with Randy putting him over as well.
Yeah.
I kind of solidified him a little bit in that role a bit more as well.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, Gunther is, I think, compared to a lot of people when they're first world champion, Gunther was always someone that seemed like, well, he's better than the guys at the top anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think he necessarily needed the win over Orton at all, right?
No.
Obviously, you know, because look, Damian Priest has been a world champion now, but I feel like he will fall a little bit back down into the upper mid card, whereas I think Gunther, like when he was wrestling Sheamus at SummerSlam, it felt like a main event. Even though, you know, it's not the main event.
True. But to be honest, I think like Damian's star level has risen a lot.
Oh yeah, so much
since that world title.
Yeah.
And
well, like the Judgment Day for like the last 2 years has been huge, and
it's been the main show.
Yeah, and it was meant to be the Finn Balor show, and Finn has dropped massively.
Yes. Big time.
You know,
big time.
They aren't even really emphasizing Damian Priest really having. You know, I don't think people even care to see Damian finally get his hands on Finn. I don't think they care. They care about Priest and Rhea. What's going on there?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's because like we've seen Damien versus Finn a lot of times, and
sure,
the majority of I'll say majority of it, Damien's always won. I think.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I can't remember, to be honest. But...
I think. Yeah, so I don't know. Again, like Finn needs to come back up. He needs to be built up a bit more.
And I don't know how they do it. Like, I think if they bring back the demon in some way, then
maybe
that might give it a fresh look.
But the demon, is that more of a face character?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
unless they do it so that if Priest does something where he beats Finn and then the next night after a pay-per-view the demon turns up, like utterly bloodies him or something. You know
what? You just sparked my brain just then.
Yeah, go for it.
The Demon and Judgment Day versus the White Six.
Ooh.
And that's where the Demon comes out to confront Howard.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh, okay. Let's roll with it.
Yeah.
What if? Oh my god, that would be great. Yeah. Because, all of the sit-down promo interview things they've done with Uncle Howdy, and he's like, there you are. Like, he can see into them. Imagine him speaking to Finn Balor, and he sees the demon inside him.
And you could get the camera glitch in between Finn and the demon.
Yeah. Oh, there is a possibility there.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Okay, so, we kind of touched on Gunther and Randy. So then, we didn't talk about the match, but coming back to Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, the Terror Twins. Here's a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think of the tag team name? But also, has there ever been a male and female intergender tag team that have had a tag team name? Because I can't think of one. Because obviously, look, you got the Rockers, you got Demolition, you have Damage Control, but it's either girl, guy. I can't think of a duo that have had a. Do you remember
the mixed tag matches, the mixed tag tournament?
I didn't really watch it, but did they have tag team names?
Really watch it. I can't remember if Miz and Asuka had one.
Probably. Was it just like a combination of their names?
Yeah, it would be just something like that.
Mizoska.
Or
I don't know.
Awesome something, or
I
don't know.
Okay, probably. It might have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you make?
I'm not sold on that name at all.
Terror Twins.
Terror Twins, and do you know what? I was saying to my brother, the promos beforehand, before the Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
With them cutting a promo behind the scenes and whatnot. It was so cringe to me.
Yeah.
It was kind of trying to give that like 90s vibe.
Okay, yeah.
And like the whole weird faces and it didn't work for me. That didn't work.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. Yeah. But like Dom and Liv for the last couple of months, that's been one of the best things in WWE.
Yeah.
Stuff can continue. I'll be honest, I never like the aspect. I don't mind it, but I'm not really sold on the whole Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley stuff as well. It's like,
no, I don't.
All of these people have wives or husbands elsewhere. Yeah, exactly. Just you don't need to keep pushing it with these people. It's like with Dominic, and then like, she's got his ear. You could believe that. Oh well, she's manipulated him. But now we're so much further along that now Dominic's got married since then, and is now in a like a love triangle with Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan and Uncle Howdy.
Well, yeah, right. And then now that we've got Rhea Ripley, who's married to Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, I was there thinking, at least Buddy can rest now. And then it's just like, no.
Yeah. Yeet. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed everything I saw of Bash at Berlin, and I
did.
Yeah, like WWE, they put on good pay-per-views generally now.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unless there's other like stuff that I forgot from like Raw or something, let's come back to AEW and let's predict All Out.
I will say one thing about Raw. The new commentator.
Oh yeah, what's this guy's name?
Joe
something or other.
Yeah.
I forget. Let me see if I can find it.
Do you know what? I've got to give him a chance. I'm not completely sold just yet, but
yeah. Well, okay. So, what's his background like?
Not too sure.
Other sports, NFL, something like this. Maybe it's cage fighting. Who knows?
Yeah, like it just. I don't know what it is. Like there was no excitement from a. You know when you got. And again, I think Dave Green mentioned it. I can never pronounce his name. Mario.
Yeah, Mario Ronaldo. Not Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. That's it.
Yeah, Ronaldo would be great. Okay, Joe Tessitore. Toro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got a kind of similar tone to him, and I said Mean Gene a little bit as well.
Ooh, that's an interesting thing.
Mean Gene commentating.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me.
Yeah.
Kind of at certain times.
Okay, just on a Mean Gene tangent there. Do you remember the Geek Battle Royal?
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure they had Mean Gene on commentary.
He did, yes.
Right, that was so wrong. Mean Gene wasn't a commentator.
No, he's not a commentator at all.
He was just a backstage interviewer.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah,
again, it's his first day on the job, so
yeah. He's a lot better than the likes of Mike Adamle, if you remember Mike Adamle.
Yes.
Jeff Harvey. Yeah.
Yeah, by miles. And he knows his stuff already, so
yeah.
It's good.
Okay, cool. So let's have a look here. What's this? No, just edit, leave that. Okay, good. Now, so yeah, we've got. It's so crazy in AEW. They're like, what is their WrestleMania? Because it's really confusing.
I don't know.
Is it all in? Is it all out? Or is it double or nothing?
I think it's now all in. It has to be, really.
It's the biggest show, and next year they've announced it will be in a stadium in Texas.
That's right, yeah.
But like obviously all in 2018 before when it was Cody and the Bucks running it.
Yeah.
Obviously that was the origin of AEW.
Exactly.
But when AEW actually started, they took Cody's line, double or nothing. So their first real show was double or nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they were like, oh well, at the same time of year, all out. And it's like, so which one is the big show? And now All Out feels like a nothing show because All In is like 2 weeks earlier.
Exactly.
You know, it's such an afterthought pay-per-view because they try to announce, a couple of matches that aren't then happening at All In, they announce in advance. But then they've literally got like 2 weeks to... And last year, I think they only had 1 week.
1 week, yeah,
to get the whole show together. And especially, we're now at the 1 year anniversary of Tony Khan firing CM Punk on television.
Whole little celebration run.
Yeah. Oh my God. How that has like literally bit them in the ass, basically.
It did. Yeah. I even unsubscribed from there as well. So I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I haven't really watched since then. So I need to get back on it.
Yeah, really. I need to get more into AEW. Not that I don't, but it's just like I'll try to watch Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. No. Do they still make Rampage? And I say that as a semi-serious question. Yeah. But okay, let's go over the matches. The interesting thing, just going by Wikipedia, if this is true, so it says match number 7. Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry, which we can get to in a second. But then it says match number 8, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page, after what I just said. Unsanctioned, lights out, steel cage match. So that's actually going to main event it.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I mean, to be honest, that's going to be, no pun intended with what happened, the hottest match going into this, right?
Definitely.
Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, we're having fun in the comments tonight, guys. You guys thinking about wrestling all day, every day? Go do something else fun. Your whole life will revolve around wrestling. I've got 2 words for you, my friend. Suck it. Right, anyway. No, we love you, Look, if you can't spell Kevin,
Kerwin White. Yeah.
Just like Kerwin White, yeah. Right, okay, but make sure you smash the subscribe. We love you, even the haters. We're the best heels in the business. Right. Okay, now, anyway, so coming back to this. So we've got Will Ospreay versus Pac. Singles match for the AEW International Championship. Thoughts for this going into this show?
Pac versus who, sorry?
Ospreay for the International Championship.
Probably Ospreay, really. It's got to be, really.
Yeah. Well, probably. Like, so Pac is already like the trios champion along with the others in Blackpool Combat Club. Oh, hang on. Yeah. I don't mean to like go into the trolls in this. Right. One more thing. Like I didn't mention earlier. Tyler was giving us some nice stuff. You guys cooking right now, stuff like that. I should read the good comments as well. But Kerwin's like, one more thing. Wrestling is fake. Oh,
it is.
Oh, the pain. But no, nothing but love, Kerwin.
I'm not going to say I love you, Kerwin.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, but I love you.
Yeah, there you go. It's just feel the love, my friend. Right, but anyway, so yeah. Ospreay's going to win, but I expect this to be... How many stars is this going to get? 5 or 6?
What, Meltzer stars?
Meltzer stars. Well, like, genuinely, what do you think you'll score it?
What would I score it?
Yeah. Ospreay versus Pac. It has to be good.
It's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's got to be up there. So, probably a 4, maybe.
I think it'll be a 4-star match. Certainly. Yeah. It might even be a 5-star match, except for my own standard. I only will give 5 stars to something where it's like, I'm truly going to remember that match
blown
forever.
Away.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Blown away, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many matches I would ever put as 5-star. The ones that...
Not many.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, first WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
To me, that was one of the... that was probably the first 5-star match I'd ever seen that wasn't me watching an old... Like, before I started watching, you know, kind of Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage.
Steamboat Savage, yeah.
Maybe Bret and Owen at WrestleMania was a 5-star match. It was a different kind of match. You know, there's a few, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, so Young Bucks versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio and Wheeler for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. But Claudio and Wheeler are already the 6-man tag champions. That's such a weird match, and they only just won them.
Yeah, they don't need to win it then.
No, they're not going to win it. The Bucks are going to keep that there.
Bucks win that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Willow Nightingale, versus Chris Statlander, Chicago Street Fight.
Oh, who's the heel?
Chris. Yeah, it's got to be Statlander. Yeah, Statlander's with Stokely Hathaway at the moment, so...
I don't really know the story.
I mean, there's not tons. They had stuff going back at, like, All In. It's just kind of generic feud at the moment.
Okay.
It's more based around Stokely on the outside, if anything.
Yeah, like, if it's just happened, it's got to be Chris.
Yeah.
Interference with Stokely.
Like, okay, let me check who actually... Because didn't they wrestle at... Maybe I'm wrong about this. Didn't they actually wrestle? Was it a tag match at All In? All In 2024. Because it was on the pre-show where I couldn't actually see jack shit. Because I was so far away. Like, genuinely, Gav, I sat there, and within the first 20 minutes of the pre-show, I'm like... I don't know what time the trains are tonight. Would it be really bad if I left early? Because I can't actually see. Well... The first couple of matches, to give you the example, on the pre-show, this was the opening match. Tommy Billington, so nephew of Dynamite Kid, that was cool too. You know, hopefully he'll go on to have a good career, but you know, that was really cool for him to come out first at Wembley, right? So Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Leo Rush, Action Andrade, and Top Flight, Darius Martin and Dante Martin. Versus, that was just one team. Wow. Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Anthony Ogogo, Divari, Private Party, the Dark Order, and all of them came out with their seconds and thirds and stuff. I can say that from that distance, I didn't know who was who.
Wow.
It was a nightmare trying to watch from that distance.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so, and then we had Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii defeating Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. So this is kind of that was the pre-show match, and now they're kind of doing a singles like a week later.
Yeah. So that means Chris is going to have to win that.
Yeah, possibly. Or but that was a pre-show, so maybe Willow will just win again.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Time will tell. I'm going to predict that Willow will win.
Okay.
That's my prediction. It's not if it was if the other match was on the pay-per-view, then I'd say I'd go with you, but I think Willow will just win because it's on All Out.
I was going to say, who's challenging Mercedes Moné? Is still the champ, right?
Yes. Hikaru Shida is back in the picture.
Oh, right, okay, then.
And Mercedes Moné is going to win.
Do you reckon?
Oh, Shida isn't going to win. Like, Shida, she held the title, or she held the world title for, like, 8 months or something before, didn't she? And,
yeah, true.
But, like, yeah, they're not going to... That was during the pandemic, and she's kind of been a nothing since, where every time they bring her back, they're like, oh, but she was champion.
Yeah.
But, like, her time has passed, unfortunately.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know eventually who Mercedes will lose it to, because...
That's what I wonder.
Sorry?
Would it be still the same Camille?
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
They could have that feud. But the whole Mercedes Camille thing just reeks of Wardlow and MJF.
Yes.
It's just going to be the exact same thing. And then Mercedes is going to turn around and be like, who is this NWA chick? And just suddenly she's going to be, I don't want the match. You know.
Yeah.
And then she'll sit down in the locker room and go back to WWE, you know.
But beforehand, she played a banjo.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That was so cringe.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, like, well, actually, I'm not really into Mercedes in AEW. Like, her presentation on and off in WWE sometimes was great, sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
I think, you bring in, like, God knows what they paid her, but AEW have this horrible habit of bringing in huge stars and turning them heel immediately.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Mercedes Moné, Okada.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, well.
But yeah, so Mercedes going to win that. But then we have, speaking of Okada versus To Be Determined. And it's a 4-way match for the Continental Championship. So I haven't seen what they're saying leading into this. So I don't know if it's going to be anyone mystery, if we might get a surprise person.
Right.
But I don't know. Okada will win.
He'll win.
Yeah. MJF, Daniel Garcia.
Is he still doing that?
Well, I don't know, actually. Like, so at All In, there was this thing where, like, someone interfered and or they caused a distraction or whatever, and it was like a mask. It's like, who is it? And when it was Daniel Garcia, that was probably the most disappointing moment of the whole show for me. Like, I don't know. Because they said that Daniel Garcia and Swerve Strickland got these big contracts.
Right.
I don't know if it's true. Now, Swerve was their world champion, right?
Right.
And I understand him dropping it to Danielson, but he could have remained as world champion. So when Swerve signed a new contract, if it was a huge contract, it's like, well, he's been their world champion and been kind of carrying the company. I say that because the other problem that AEW have... Oh my god, it's so true, actually. Sorry, I haven't even said it yet. MJF became world champion, and then he was in, like, 1 out of 2 or 3 pay-per-view main events. When he was world champion, he wasn't the guaranteed main event. Swerve became world champion, he wasn't the main event.
Oh, exactly.
Daniel Bryan becomes the world champion, and now Swerve and Hangman in the main event. Like, just... It's what I said after a win. The booking was slightly weird, and it is still the case. They don't book their world champion as the main event.
No.
And now Swerve has lost the world title. Now he's the main event.
Yeah.
Right, anyway. But yeah, so they said that Swerve and Garcia have got huge contracts. Now, and they said it was better than CM Punk money. And no disrespect to Swerve, they could have got him for a bit cheaper, right? is the truth. Yeah. It's just the reality, right? Yeah. Daniel Garcia, I wouldn't even pay him naked Midian money. I've got no time for Daniel Garcia. The dance is a one-trick thing. He's not the worst in the ring. I'm not into that character.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got to agree with you.
Yeah, like I wouldn't give him a huge contract.
No.
Like I can understand them giving MJF a big contract.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have paid MJF CM Punk money.
No, he's not on that level yet.
No, like literally the only ones, if they had to give Kenny and the Bucks huge money to begin with, fine.
Yeah,
if they then paid Jericho and Punk a lot, I get it. If they paid Mercedes and Okada, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, no disrespect to either of them. Swerve, I'd have been like, you'll get $1 million. You'll get $1 million, and that's because we want to keep you and we want to pay you as the world champion, right? Yeah. But I don't know what Punk was getting, but I don't know.
That's crazy.
Daniel Garcia, though, honestly, Brooklyn Brawler money. That's where he's at.
Has he done anything, really?
Daniel Garcia, no. Like, he danced.
That's it.
Yeah, like...
I like him.
Lots of people danced. Yeah. Fandango danced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then the one other match we haven't spoken about on here is world champion Bryan Danielson against Jack Perry.
Oh, that's a foregone conclusion right there, anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The most obvious booking on the whole show, unless Christian does something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I remember from about a year ago, I keep saying Bryan Danielson said that after All In last year, he was going to wrestle one more year full-time and then be part-time, right?
Right.
And I think even on his promo after winning the world title, when he did it last week on Dynamite, Bryan said, and as soon as I lose this title, my career's over, right?
Yeah.
I think he still is going to wrestle part-time.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Or maybe he said my full-time career is over. I still think he'll do the occasional match.
I think so. He's not going to give it up altogether.
I think it would be crazy to have him lose it soon. He shouldn't lose it until Double or Nothing.
Yeah, when it's Double or Nothing.
May.
When is that?
It's the better part of a year away.
Yeah.
But to have him lose it beforehand, you don't have a bigger star. Like
no, exactly.
Yeah, like who do you have that's... And again, MJF, like Swerve obviously started in WWE, but I think it's fair to say Swerve is an AEW-made star.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? In the same way that Steve Austin was in WCW and ECW, no, he is a WWE-made star. Right?
Exactly that.
But like you have MJF, you have Swerve Strickland, and even though they are big homegrown talents, they're not quite name recognition wise. No. Like, well, even then, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, John Moxley, none of them quite have the WWE names.
No.
Other than then who? Then Jericho. He's the only one that kept his name.
And then again,
who else kept their name? I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Punk did, but he's gone.
But Punk.
Yeah.
Christian Cage.
Christian Cage, yeah. But even then, Christian isn't that big a star.
No, not on that level.
Like everyone knows him, but he's not on the same, like he's better than Edge now in terms of he's no longer the Jannetty, but he isn't like, oh my god, Christian's there.
Yeah.
He's not going to get the casual. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I think they should run with Bryan Danielson because he's a big name in wrestling. And...
who defeats him though?
Sorry?
Who takes the title off him though? That's the thing.
They could choose anyone. They could swing back round to Swerve. They could put it on Hangman.
Right, sure.
They could, whoever they choose next. If they do it now, then it was kind of why did they even bother with Daniel Bryan to not even see if he'd elevate things?
Do you think he's going to get Moxley to beat him?
I don't know. What's going on with Moxley? What was this whole thing about
You don't own the company or something?
Yes, well, it's our company now.
Yeah. I have no idea.
No idea. No idea.
Here comes the money.
Well, that's the theory. Oh my god, yeah. So when I was at All In, everyone thought around me in my section that before it was Daniel Garcia, it was going to be Shane McMahon.
Right. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So it was such a letdown.
So it's a letdown.
But yeah. So okay. So Bryan Danielson, Jack Perry. What do you envisage? Any sort of angle or something coming out of that?
There'll be something coming out of it.
I mean, perhaps the Bucks will get. Okay. How about this? How about Jack Perry loses to Danielson? Perhaps the Young Bucks get involved. Maybe the Blackpool Combat Club will run down and try and help as well. How about to try to reinvigorate the Young Bucks? That next month or whenever their next pay-per-view is, Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson for the world title. That would be something different to do with them.
Different. That'd be different.
It'd be really different. Or how about this? A three-way. Bryan Danielson versus Matt Jackson versus Nick Jackson. And you can imagine the Young Bucks sort of starting this feud of maybe we're going to fight each other. Right?
And then laying down.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just laying down.
Yeah.
Although, would it then be a case of that, well, Nick Jackson kicks out and he's like, what are you doing? I was going to beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know? And he's like, no, you lay down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it goes with these sort of heel situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I'd be up for something like that. I think they should do that. It would definitely give a different vibe to the Young Bucks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to come out of their little slumber, really. So.
Well, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, when were the Young Bucks actually really, really hot in AEW?
Do you know what? They had a good few matches with, what are they called? Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, Zero Miedo.
Yeah, Zero Miedo, yeah. So, yeah, they had some really outstanding matches. Like, I was never a big fan of the Young Bucks or Generation Me or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had to respect some of their matches with Pentagon and
and like, you know, and look, their matches are always full of content, right?
Yeah.
I think some of like the personal stuff, obviously everything with Punk, it's kind of damaged their perception, but also just some of the stuff they do in promos is weird. Like I remember when Kenny Omega came back from a long injury, and the fans cheered, and they were like, "You've been booing us for months, so what are you doing?" I was like, "Why are you killing this? Like they're pleased to see you. You know, why are you killing this?" Oh, dude, right. Okay, so that's our predictions for All Out. We kind of covered other stuff. Is there other stuff, any hot takes or stuff that you've seen about that we haven't covered, Gav?
Hot takes, wow. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. He was tagging with Kofi and...
Oh, Odyssey Jones.
Odyssey Jones, that's the one. Yeah, he's been released now, hasn't he?
Well, was it... Okay, so again, this is the speculation. I don't know anything about it. Because we always got to be careful saying stuff on the net.
Yeah, allegedly.
Was it allegedly some sort of domestic violence thing?
Allegedly so, yes.
It's a real shame because he'd been out of it for a long time. He's only been back in the picture for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's actually going to disrupt that program now. With, so does New Day stick together now still?
I hope so. I genuinely don't want New Day to ever break up.
No, same.
Like,
I don't want them to break up either.
And I don't know. I think Big E can do something. Like, I don't know what his health is, right? But you think you've got a dynamic with a 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
They can do something where, like, they need someone or something's happening, and it's like there's, you know, if you got any 3 guys that's going to take on my 3 guys, and out come 2 of them, and it's New Day, and just sort of like when they did the tease for the Hardys. Imagine if they did the same tease, and Big E comes out, right?
Yeah.
And then imagine just like he's on the apron, he gets the tag, he comes in, clothesline, doesn't take a bump, has an easy night.
Yeah.
Just like chucks someone somewhere. You know, I'm sure he's still got all this strength
if he's
to
able
give
to
someone
do it.
Yeah.
He'll still have the strength, definitely.
Yeah.
It might have dwindled a little bit, but like, that's if he's able to do it. Like,
health comes first. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be really good.
I think they could still do something. I don't think the New Day need to break up. It's like at times they've been out of the focus, and you could say, it's stale. But all they need to do is actually put them on TV in something meaningful.
And stop them feuding with the Viking Raiders or whatever they're called.
Viking Raiders, Warriors, the Viking Experience, or carrying crosses, garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Stable. Yeah.
God.
If one of the biggest travesties in wrestling history was ending Kofi Mania with a 6-second match, right?
Yeah, that was bad.
Just do something to reinvigorate. Just say, hey Kofi, you're washed up now, and then just have him find some new fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, no, Kofi Mania is gonna live forever, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Just find a story. It's an easy one, really. Or have Big E there, whether he's gonna wrestle or something again.
Yeah.
Have the thing where it's like, hey, I was a world champion. Big E was a world champion. Kofi was a world champion. Xavier, when are you actually gonna take it seriously? Put the trombone down, and there's so many ways. There's so many ways you can do it. Yeah. Okay, Gav. We can begin to wrap things here. I'm gonna do a quick refresh on the page, see if there's any breaking news. Gav, one thing I'll get your opinion on. During the show when we did it last week, literally during the show, found out that Psycho Sid passed away. I was gutted to hear that Sid died.
Do you know what? Yeah, I was big time gutted. Yeah. When I was a kid, he was one of my favourites.
Yeah, literally.
Especially as Sid Justice.
Yes.
Oh, that music when he come through the curtain.
Yeah.
How he just looked down the camera, just talk his way to the ring, and it would be giving that maniacal laugh, and I've bought into it. And even what people forget as well, at the end of the match with the stretcher, when he used to throw them into the ring post, and we just laughed at Harvey, and he was brilliant. I used to actually record every single match with this.
Oh my god, absolutely the same. Yeah. No, Sid was so good. He was I said this last week. I think he was the first heel where I was like, I prefer him.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a Hulkamaniac, but I was like, no, Sid is every man for himself.
Exactly.
I
was there booing Hogan.
Yeah, I was absolutely. Yeah, and when when Sid was Psycho Sid, and that music, and when he beat Shawn Michaels,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Even beforehand, I remember I never really watched WCW.
Oh really?
I remember around about 19. I'm dating myself here.
Yeah.
Around about 1989.
Yeah.
There was a Starrcade event, and I remember there was 2 rings. I might be wrong.
Yeah, go on.
There was 2 rings, and the Skyscrapers won that one.
Yeah.
If anyone knows in the comments, let me know. But yeah, he won it, and I just remember looking at this guy in awe. And I was only a little kid.
Yeah.
I think I was about 11 at the time.
I think.
And he just sat there, and he was just in the ring on one knee. And me and my cousin, we saw it, and we mimicked it from there on. And it's just bring it kind of thing.
Yeah. But I tell you what, right? I think it was Sid powerbombing Brian Pillman in a WCW War Games match, where because Sid was so tall, he brought up Pillman and he hit the roof of the cage. I'm going to try to find that clip later. I'll try to share it if I find it, because it shouldn't be too hard. It was a War Games. And I think it was Sid, and I think it was Brian Pillman. But that was so sad. And he was he passed away. Obviously, he was 63. And when you hear that, he could have still been wrestling 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So there was, it's such a shame that obviously he had that one match with Heath Slater.
That's right.
He still could have had a presence.
Yeah, and the thing is, he should have been back in WWE.
Yeah.
He should have been brought back in to do something.
Yeah.
You know.
To be honest, you never know what the genuine Arn Anderson factor might have been there, because if like, you know, Ric Flair had been in WWE for years, Arn Anderson was WWE up until like obviously like a couple of years ago when he went to AEW. Maybe it was a case of there were just some people that you know could never.
I heard that they buried the hatchet a long time ago, though.
No, it was scissors, Gav, not a hatchet. But right, well maybe they did, because like to be fair, I think Sid and Arn Anderson were both in WCW in about the year 2000. Yeah. So maybe they did. Yeah. That's so crazy though. They were both in the Four Horsemen, and one of them, and they were stabbing each other.
Was that at the Royal Albert Hall as well?
It was in, it would have been in England. So,
isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
I've forgotten this whole story of it, but yeah. God.
Okay, let me quickly check what we've got on the headlines here. Oh my God, let me just screen share this unless there's anything dodgy on the screen. So, if you didn't see it, check out this shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that just Orton's house? Or the Bray Wyatt house?
Well, exactly, you're right. But look, so literally, Adam Page lit this building on fire. And it goes to show the crazy money, unless they had something built and it was just like a mock-up house. But even then, that's got to be thousands.
Yeah, exactly, it will be.
Just for this angle, so...
Because you're going to have like, even the rescue people on board. Make sure it's all contained and all that.
Okay, but I'm trying to remember back from the earlier Swerve Hangman feud. Was it that Swerve went into Hangman's house? And
it was Swerve gone into
where his baby was.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the whole thing of that now.
So obviously, it's like, so in one sense, you could say, well, if Hangman was more of the face then, and Swerve went into his house. And now Swerve is the face, and Hangman's burned down his house.
Yeah.
Like, what do they do for the rubber match on this? Like, one of them's just gonna literally, Swerve is gonna, like execute one of the Young Bucks or something like this.
It's gonna be an Inferno match.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, Hangman's going to kidnap Prince Nana and bury him alive or something. Yeah. Oh my God, do you know what would be amazing? It's like, so Hangman's like, and I'm burying your manager alive. And like Swerve rushes to find him and he finds the grave. And when he's like digging, it's like, he's not in it. And then Prince Nana walks up and Swerve's like, how did you get out? He's like, I dug my way out. Yeah.
I swerved when
I swerved, you know, absolutely. Ah, great. Well, anyway, so I don't think there's any major breaking news. Something there about Tony Schiavone. Explains... Oh, no, that's fine. He explains why he won't be watching the Netflix docuseries on his former boss. Former boss, Tony Schiavone. He was in WWF for, like, a minute. So, he doesn't even know. Yeah. Right. Lame stuff the internet says.
Yeah, I was going to say, slow news day, right?
Yeah, clickbait. Right.
Have a look.
Mercedes Moné has heaped praise on Tony Khan's infectious passion. Jesus.
Okay.
Ugh. Right. Well, anyway, let's begin to wrap things up. It's been good to Slam Jam again. We're gonna do it more regularly.
Yeah, definitely. It's been brilliant.
Cool. Where can the people find you, Gav?
You can find me. Where can they find me? I can't remember. The best Gav on Twitter.
Okay.
It's X, isn't it?
On X, yes. And check out all of the Slam Jam related channels on Facebook, on X, on YouTube. Smash the subscribe there. And with that...
Comment below.
Yeah, make sure you snap into a Slam Jam. Right.
Dig it.
And with that, we are off the air. Boom.
Ciao.